How do you start a wedding tent rental business and make $72,000 a year with only working probably 5 to 6 hours a month? There is a massive opportunity in the wedding venue, wedding event space. The average wedding is $28,000 a year. A lot of times it's even more than that, and people are looking for alternatives to paying a whopping $28,000. The most of that cost comes out of a wedding venue. So a lot of people are actually using families' land and different things where they're kind of creating their own wedding venue to cut costs, because a lot of people just can't, quite frankly, afford to pay $28,000 all at once for a wedding. So a tent rental allows them to be able to get kind of a discounted venue, but actually put that tent in a really nice location. So because there's a need, you can really take advantage of this and start this business today. Hi, my name's Nate Jones. I run this channel, make videos on how to start businesses, entrepreneurship, business tips, business advice, and even some inspiration here now and then. So if you get value out of this video, I ask that you like and subscribe, and I'll keep providing great content for you. Okay, so let's get into this. How can we make money in this business? How does this business even make money? Well, a wedding tent equipment rental business, basically you make money by charging a fee when someone wants to rent your equipment, okay? So before we get into how much we can make, we're gonna talk through how much does it cost to get this whole setup to where you can provide the equipment for somebody to have a wedding pretty much anywhere, right? So let's go through this. We're going to need a tent, a big white 40 feet by 100 feet tent, which could probably seat about 150 people, okay? So that's going to cost anywhere from $16,000 to $20,000. I saw a good one you could probably buy for around $17,000 online. So $17,000, that's going to be your biggest expense by far. Then you're going to need to provide tables for people to eat at, because in a normal wedding, you have tables, chairs in the tent, right? So wedding tables, you're going to get about 20 tables, about $100 each, because you can do plastic tables, because we're going to throw linen on top of the table. So we don't need high quality tables. Those are about $100 each. So you're going to spend about $2,000 in tables. For wedding chairs, you're going to have about 150 of them, because you can fit 150 people under the tent. That's going to be about $15 each. So you're going to spend about $2,250 just on chairs. For linen cloth that go on the tables and on the chairs. So we're going to hide some of those ugly chairs with linen. Putting linen on that, it's going to be about $500. And then we're going to need a trailer, because if you have all that stuff in the tent and all that material, you're going to have to put that somewhere where you're going to be able to haul it from event to event. So a cargo trailer is going to be about $5,000 added on to your cost. So all in, you are going to probably pay about $27,000 for this. There are financing options for the tent that you could buy, and for the cargo trailer, you could probably finance that as well. But I would say for this business, it would be really smart of you to probably pay off and just put money aside for an extended period of time to start this business before you go all in and buy with financing. So I would recommend that you don't get a loan to start this business. And I'll tell you why, because you can make so much money in it, okay? So how much money can we make? So that 40 by 100 wedding tent, which is a good starter tent, it's big enough to house decent sized weddings, is going to be about $1,200 to rent it for the event, okay? It's not breaking the bank for people, and you can add some more add-ons to it if you get the big the walls with the kind of windows-like structures in it. So you can add on more stuff to it. You can add lights and different things within the tent, but just to get the tent out there, it's going to be about $1,200. A wedding table it looks like people are charging about $15 a table, which puts you at about 20 tables, which is $300. Wedding chairs, about $2 a chair, puts you at another $300 that you're going to bring in. Linen is about $10 a table, so that's going to put you about $200 for the event. So all in here, we're talking about making $2,000 per event. It's probably going to take you about 2 to 3 hours to set up the event. We're going to do probably 4 events a month. We could potentially squeeze in 2 a week, but I would say, hey, just comfortably starting out, if you do 4 events a month, 9 months out of the year due to weather in some of the states. Now, if you're in a nice, perfect climate, then you could probably do weddings year-round. But for 9 months out of the year, doing 4 events a month, it's going to put you at 36 events a year. So 36 times 2,000 puts us at $72,000 a year when we're only working probably under 10 hours a month to make $72,000 a year, which is a great side hustle, a great side business that you can do to make more money. So definitely, I like this business because it doesn't require you to have a ton of time. You're making money after you set something up, then you go tear it down and do the same thing the next week, and you'll get really good at tearing it or bringing it up and tearing it down, so you can really make money in this business. So let's go through our cash flow. How are we going to profit this year? How much are we going to profit? Because we got to pay off that $27,000 that we expended at the beginning. So we have $72,000 a year in income minus the $27,000 a year in expenses, puts us at a profit of $45,000 a year. Very profitable business. Okay, going into year 2, we're probably not going to spend as much. Might have to replace some material, potentially buy another tent, but we have the profit to do that, to expand, so we can continue every single year. That profit's going to go up next year. Okay, so if we buy another tent, we're going to profit another $45,000, and probably we're going to profit another $60,000. So we could have a $100,000 business going into year 2, and every year we add some tents, add some different things. You could really get this business up to $500,000, and maybe potentially down the road, if you're in a nice big city area, you could probably get it to $1 million business. I really like this business because I really do think that it is sellable. If you have a business that has great web presence and that people are calling on you, maybe different venues are using your tents, and you have that proven track record of revenue, you could sell this business, especially selling the equipment and material at the end of the day. So, okay. So now we've gone through that you can make money in this business, what are the expenses and how much you can make. Now we're going to go through how do you actually make sure that you're successful in this business, because that's the most important thing is, hey, anybody can come up with a business idea, but actually making money in it is a different thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through an exercise in which I say, hey, we're going to talk through things in which could prevent us from making money. What are the things that could go wrong in this business? What are the ways that are going to prohibit us from making money? Basically, you're going to tear down the business, be its worst critic, bankrupt it, and then you're going to find strategies to make sure that that doesn't happen to you. So this business, the number one thing is you don't get any events. You got the equipment, you got everything set up, but you don't get any events. Why do you not get any events? Because of marketing and sales, okay? Number one, this business, you should definitely have a Facebook page, a website. You should be online and try to set up a website that uses SEO, which is search engine optimization, where when people search wedding tents and blah, 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 Mississippi, Alabama, whatever, you're the business that pops up, okay? So doing local marketing, maybe going to wedding trade shows. Almost every single city has wedding trade shows. Showing up, maybe calling event venues, saying, hey, here's my tent, maybe set a deal with them. But you're calling around, seeing who you can basically get your name out there with. So many different angles you can take. You can call different restaurants, different companies, and do the business-to-business relationships. You should try to get business-to-consumer, get your name out there. It's going to be slow at first, but definitely as you get your name out there more and more, people are going to use word of mouth, and people are going to sell your business for you because they're talking about how great of an experience they had and that they were able to save money instead of going to a venue. So basically you need to have the marketing brain and sales brain on. And once you have that strategy set in tone, you also need to go through and say, hey, one thing that could put us out of business is having low quality equipment. We set it up, doesn't look good, it doesn't present well. And we've all heard of bridezilla stories where brides get upset. Well, you don't want people to be upset about your equipment and ruin their best day of their life, right? So you don't want to ruin their day, because if you ruin their day, they're going to have bad Google reviews and they're going to be your biggest critic, and that'll put you out of business faster than anything. So making sure that you go to wedding wholesale events. They have trade shows across the country in which you can go to try out that equipment that you're going to be buying. And this is a big expense, so you want to make sure that, hey, is the tent that I'm getting going to be reliable? Are the chairs, the tables, how am I going to do this? Ask other people in other states. A lot of people are going to be able to help you out and say, hey, I got a tent from this place. It's really good. You need to do this, avoid that. Really reach out to other people in the industry to help you out. Okay. Another thing is showing up to events on time. This is just purely organization, like just staying organized, doing what you're saying you're going to do. If they want you to have it set up on Friday night because the wedding's on Saturday, you got to do it Friday night. Okay. I wouldn't do it the same day of, trying to be organized, work around the wedding crew, making sure that everything's set up, it's workable, and that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. When you do what you say you're going to do in business, you are successful in business. So make sure that you do what you say you're going to do, show up on time, and do the right thing, and then you will continue to flourish in business because people will say, hey, they did a great job, there was no issues whatsoever, and we didn't have to worry about our venue, the only thing we have to worry about is having to get married, which is what you're supposed to do on your wedding day. Okay, so what we're going to do after that, once we have those strategies, we're going to get an LLC or a corporation, reach out to a local attorney in your area who could help you set that up. And then we're also going to buy insurance. We're going to buy insurance on our material, and we're going to require that a client signs a client agreement with us. I will reach out to another local attorney for that, maybe the same one, and just say, hey, I would like to have a contract with my client in case they destroy my equipment. They destroy the table, the chairs, maybe even the tent, right? What if the tent catches on fire? Are you going to require them to have event liability insurance where their insurance policy will actually pay for that? I would require that. So making sure that you're organized and you have your legalese set up so that if something goes south, you're not sitting out there and saying, oh my gosh, my tent's destroyed and now I have to sue somebody and it's going to take me 6 months to get a court date and actually show up and get paid for it, and you're out of business for 6 months. So making sure that you're set up and you're ready to go and you're minimizing those potential risks in your business is huge for you to continue to stay in business and continue to grow. If you've really thought this through and really done some research and you say, hey, this is a side business that I really think I could do. I have some extra capital sitting around that I could really put to work and actually do something of my own, start my own business and build some equity into something. You need to commit to doing it and stop talking about it. Eventually, you got to do something. You got to start a business so that you can get that equity. Because as a business owner, you've seen in this, what other investment can you make if this is successful and you are successful in this business, what I've laid out, where you put $27,000 down and you make $72,000 for the year? This is a $45,000 profit. Being a business owner is the most profitable thing I've done in my life. From the little investment that I made in my company, how much I've made, it's been by far the best investment I've ever made in my life, and I hope it is for you too. If you need help with anything, just reach out to me, and if you got value out of this, hit like and subscribe. I am here as a mentor and a sounding board, so just reach out, comment below. I'd be happy to hop on a call and help you evaluate your next business. Thanks.